Starting this fall, the City of Elmhurst will begin a citywide water meter changeout project requiring all residential and commercial water meters to be replaced. This project is needed because the majority of the city's meters are over 25 years old and have exceeded their life expectancy. The city has experienced many years of 18 to 20% of unaccounted for water. The city has hired Ceremonies as contractors to replace all water meters with highly accurate, non-moving part mechanical water meters that will aid in detecting leaks. The new water meters have the ability to provide on-demand reads as well as leak and tampering alerts and early identification of leaks before they surface. A customer portal will also be available for residents to electronically monitor for leaks and manage their water consumption online. Elmhurst water customers can expect to receive an introductory letter with project information. Project updates will regularly be posted on the city's website and social media pages. Residents are also encouraged to attend informational open house events that will be scheduled at City Hall. The water meter changeout project is expected to occur through spring of 2018 and is mandatory for all residents and businesses. The project will be completed in sections throughout the city. When Ceremonies is approaching a neighborhood, residents in the area will be sent a series of postcards requesting to schedule an appointment. Residents are asked to be responsive and schedule an appointment once this notification is received. The new water meter will be installed at no additional cost. Residents will be expected to have an adult over the age of 18 years old home at the time of appointment, which should take no more than 30 minutes to complete. Residents should attempt to locate their water meter in advance and ensure the meter is accessible for Ceremonies at the time of the appointment. On the date of the water meter changeout, the resident should take precautions and look for the logo on the installer's uniform and vehicle and make sure the installer's ID is visible before allowing the installer to enter the home. All of Ceremonies installers will be identified with an ID badge and will be driving marked vehicles. They will also be wearing project shirts with the project logo. Once the installer enters the home, residents will be asked to guide the installer to the location of the water meter. The installer will take the following steps to complete the water meter changeout. First, the installer will turn the water off at the main valve. Then the installer will exchange the old meter with the new meter. The installer will then turn the water back on, confirm proper flow direction, and inspect the installation to make sure no leaks are visible. The installer will connect the communication wire to the new meter and test to make sure a meter reading can be obtained. Finally, the installer will ensure that the work area is clean around the new water meter before leaving. During the installation process, the installer will take pictures of the old and new water meter. Once the water meter installation is complete, the installer will give the resident information on how to read the new meter and gain access to an online program called WaterSmart. WaterSmart is an online portal where residents can view account information, monitor daily water consumption, detect leaks, and set up notification alerts. The installer will also give the resident information on how to complete a customer service survey. Once the water meter is replaced, residents will receive a bill that will look the same as previous bills, but will include any remaining water use on the old meter, along with any cumulative use on the new meter. All subsequent bills will only include use from the new meter. A noticeable difference in the new bill will include uses registered in gallons versus cubic meters. Any billing questions should be directed to the city's utility billing department by calling 630-530-3111. The City of Elmhurst would like to thank all water customers for their cooperation during this important city project. Please visit www.elmhurst.org/water-meter-changeout for more information and to find out what area Ceremonies is currently working in. For questions on the installation process, please contact Ceremonies at 866-260-3176.
Hi, I'm John Quigley, President and CEO of the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry. In these challenging economic times, it's imperative that our residents and businesses band together to not only shop Elmhurst, but buy Elmhurst whenever possible. We have great stores in our city center, Spring Road, Butterfield Road, York and Villette Streets, St. Charles and Route 83, North Avenue and Lake Street, along North York and even Grand Avenue. I ask for your help. Let's keep our tax dollars in Elmhurst.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you again for joining us tonight to celebrate the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce 99th Awards Gala. I am Julie Miller-Sheehan, a proud member of the Elmhurst Chamber's Board of Directors and chairwoman of the Centennial Celebration Committee. I am excited to also serve as the Master of Ceremonies this evening, which serves as the kickoff celebration to our 100th year, and thus, happy birthday to us. Hooray. We have a lively program tonight and some well-deserved recognition to give, so let the fun begin. We begin our program with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if I can call Sean Daly from Suburban Bank and Trust to lead us, I would appreciate it. Please give Sean a round of applause.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Give Sean a nice round of applause. And moving into our invocation, I would like to ask Lori Murray from Inland Bank to join us to lead us in that.
Good evening. For our Elmhurst Rotary Club members in our audience, tonight's invocation might feel familiar to you, even if so paraphrased for our use. A new year is a time for new beginnings, as well as a time to reflect on the past. It is a chance for us as chamber members and business people to celebrate our successes in 2017 and plan for 2018 to be a wonderful year. As Centennial Celebrations years dawn, let us consider how we can use the next 339 days to make a difference through our work to better the Elmhurst community. Let us be thankful for what we and our chamber have achieved together, mindful of our responsibility to continue our good works.
Thank you, Lori. The next gentleman to join me on stage has been associated with the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce for 26 years and has faithfully served as our president and CEO for 19 of them. He has guided the Elmhurst Chamber through 2 global recessions, through the transition of the end of the Elmfest era to the creation of new successful annual events, and has expanded the services provided by the Chamber, thus making membership in our Chamber even more valuable. He regales us annually with his State of the Chamber address, and that will address the Chamber's achievements, prosperity, and ambitions. This year's commentary is even more exciting due to the various enhancements made leading into our centennial year, as well as what lies ahead in our celebration of 2018. Please welcome to the stage my very first boss in my professional career, John Quigley.
Thanks. Have a good night. Well, it's apparently a good evening for some of you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us to celebrate both our accomplishments of 2017 and the start of a most special 2018. This year's State of the Chamber presidential address is literally a once-in-my-lifetime opportunity, as 2018 marks our Chamber's 100th anniversary, and along with that milestone, heralds a year-long centennial celebration. Tonight's festivities officially kick off our centennial celebration, and my thanks to each of you for making sure we have a sellout crowd in attendance this evening. Give yourselves a nice round of applause. As part of our centennial celebration-related activities in 2017, our marketing committee, chaired by Ken Bartels, redesigned our logo for the first time in 2 decades and designed a centennial celebration version, redesigned and replatformed our now responsive website to maximize search engine optimization and to be more user-friendly, and created a pop-up promotional display with a TV monitor that will be at every one of our events this coming year. I want to thank members in particular, Korzanowski Design, SMB Advantage Group, and Prairie Display Chicago for exceeding their contractual obligations with us on their work for our logo, website, and pop-up display, respectively. Give them a nice round of applause. At our 98th Annual Awards Gala last January here in this room, I unveiled plans for staging of a $250,000 capital campaign, starting with Ralph Pachanio's gift of $100,000 to endow our student internship fund at Elmhurst College, my alma mater, and my own pledge of $25,000 to the Second Century Fund, which was a $1,000 goal. I know of no chamber in the country with our membership and staffing levels that has attempted, let alone succeeded, in such an endeavor. To date, our capital campaign, I am most proud to report this evening, is at 68% of goal, with nearly $170,000 raised and more coming in every month. Nice timing, Julie. You weren't my first intern for no reason there. Members of our board of directors, their businesses, and chamber staff have accounted for more than $140,000 of those gifts and pledges. And your contributions, be they big or small, are needed to get us the rest of the way home. The $150,000 Ralph P. Pajanio Student Internship Fund at Elmhurst College is at 81% of goal. And that figure does not count the recently reported 2017 year-end earnings of $11,500. Thank you. Good timing, Ralph. Those earnings alone equate to more than 55 hours per week for the 40% of student intern salaries not reimbursed through the Illinois Board of Higher Education's recently refunded Job Path program. Very meaningful for us. Our $100,000 Second Century Fund is at 49% of its goal. $50,000 unrestricted is at 77% of goal, and our $50,000 Civic Hall of Fame Memorial Fund is at 20% of goal, even though we've yet to identify what that project's going to be, but we are continuing our talks with city officials about a partnership on the development of that public Civic Hall of Fame Memorial, and it's likely going to be in the downtown. More to come on that over the next year. This month, our 2018 Elmhurst Community Directory, published in partnership with Shaw Media, was every door direct mailed to some 19,200 Elmhurst residences, businesses, and post office boxes. It features a center spread section on our 100th anniversary, including capital campaign giving options. Directories are available at your table, and we also have boxes of them at checkout if you want to take it when you leave this evening. Soon, we will announce plans for our chamber to create, market, and sell Elmhurstopoly, a unique board game that you'll all want to have. IRS Trouble Solvers and the Elmhurst Veterans Memorial Commission have already committed to sponsoring a board property and a game token respectively. So when we go public in February, don't wait to jump on board. Those spots will go quickly. I'm also happy to report that chamber membership grew during 2017, thanks to 37 of our 71 new members joining in the fourth quarter alone. And 2018 is off to a good start with 11 new members joining in January as part of our Centennial Celebration offer of $100 memberships to the first 100 new Elmhurst business members in the first 100 days of our 100th year. And here's my shout out to Elmhurst Mayor Steve Morley. Steve, give him the mayoral wave. While a chamber member twice over already, the mayor signed up his new marketing and consulting firm as our first 100 campaign registrant. Give the mayor a nice round of applause. You owe me a beer later. Okay, 2. We are active more than ever on our Facebook and Twitter social media pages, sharing news about us, our members, and the Elmhurst community. Our Facebook page just went to more than 1,000 likes. We just broke that barrier, which was our goal for 2017. Our goal for 2018 is to get to 2,000. So if you haven't liked us already, now is the time to pull your phone back out and like us. We're also at nearly 1,000 people who follow us on a regular basis. So feel free to follow us as well. You have my dispensation at this time to violate all rules and go to your cell phone. So I don't see any of you doing that. So I assume the 160 plus of you in the room already like us and follow us. Thank you for that. During my tenure at the Elmhurst Chamber, starting in 1991, representing Elmhurst College, and since 1999 as your president and CEO, member advocacy at every level of government has become an integral component of our mission to promote an environment that creates success for local businesses and our community. While actively engaged in procedures relating to economic development policies and business-relevant legislative issues, we have opposed taxes and regulations that burden our businesses and supported fiscally responsible strategies for business investment and job growth. Earlier this month, our board announced its opposition to a property tax freeze as proposed by Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner and the Illinois General Assembly. Simply stated, the legislation is bad for our residents and bad for our businesses. Here in Elmhurst, we have supported an array of economic development initiatives that, in the long run, have proven beneficial to residents, consumers, visitors, tourists, businesses, and our municipality. And we will continue to endorse the city's use of economic development tools ranging from tax increment financing districts to public-private partnerships, from retail sales tax abatements to business development grants. I want to personally applaud all of you here today and the hundreds of other members whose loyal support and steadfast commitment has earned our chamber the respect of government, businesses, residents, and our peers. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not recognize the people who work for me. Director of Member Services Tessa Zangulis and student intern Jeremy Ireland, and those in the audience tonight who previously worked for me, including Barb Savage, Ann Palumbo, and Betsy Donofrio. And there's the people who are weaved into my chamber thread. Ken Bartels, who I worked for at Elmhurst College and encouraged me to apply for this position. So blame him if you're unhappy. Julie Miller, my first student intern as chamber president, and the first student intern to come back and serve on the board and become chairman of the board of directors. Give Julie a nice round of applause. And Ralph Pachanio, whose impact on our chamber and the Elmhurst community cannot, let me repeat, cannot possibly be overstated. You know, you may find this hard to believe, but I'm not always the fun, happy-go-lucky guy that I'm sure all of you have come to know and love. All of these people I've just mentioned have seen me at my worst. And I thank them for putting up with me, for bearing with me, and for helping me make this chamber the best chamber in DuPage County, one of the best chambers in Illinois, and a chamber that can be proud countrywide and worldwide. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, John. Our next speaker has served us well this last year as our 99th chairman of the board of directors for our chamber. And luckily, we have the luxury of keeping his talent and leadership on the board for one more year. Please welcome Joe Muchow from E.L. Faust & Co.
Journey up here. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. My main purpose for being here tonight is to present the Chairman's Award to Ralph Pachanio for his work that he does all the time for the Chamber. I am so impressed with Ralph's dedication, his abilities, his steady hand at the Chamber board meetings, and all that he does for Elmhurst. I mean, he's on everything. He does it all. Ralph, over the years, has been treasurer of our board for quite a while. He's also been in the chamber for over 40 years, and he is an ambassador, which is an important job for the chamber too, because it welcomes new people in, makes them feel comfortable, and if anybody could make people feel comfortable, it's Ralph. He's an amazing guy. So all these things that he does, the parade on Memorial Day, which he does in concert with John, that's a great thing for the city of Elmhurst. And again, Ralph is the guy that makes it happen. He's also a member of the American Legion. He's a great guy just to know. I want to present the award. I just don't want to say any more. I believe that he has influenced me a lot as far as how to be a gentleman, how to be gentle, and how to be nice to people. And there's nobody more deserving than him for this award. Yeah, standing ovation for sure. Absolutely. Ralph, you're an amazing guy. Very, very pleased. I think you should hold this.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
All right. You want to come over here? Come on over here. Picture time.
Okay.
All right. You can keep applauding if you like. He deserves it.
But you have to sit back down so Ralph can see over you.
All right, here we go. All right.
Oh, come on.
Oh, take it easy there, John. Thank you all. This means a great deal to me. I've had a number of awards. This is probably second biggest. Going into our Hall of Fame, of course, is something that Jack is going to experience in a little while. But thanks to one and all, I've been blessed to be able to share my time, talents, and resources with the Chamber and the business community. I've been particularly pleased to support the longtime partnership of the Chamber and the Elmhurst College Student Internship Program, with more to come. We're going to continue on, and we're going to build that fund, and we're going to expand the program if we can, and so we can have great interns like Jeremy with us. The Chamber plays a very vital role in Elmhurst, and I urge you to be generous with your time, your talents, and your resources. We'll all be better off for it, and you can ensure that we have future success. Thank you.
Outgoing directors and your board. Right. You get to talk about them.
All right.
So that's the one we're going to give out.
Okay. All right, we have a couple of awards for people who are leaving the board of directors. These are people who spend a lot of time of their own, free will, coming to board meetings, spending a lot of time directing the chamber, good information, all that stuff that we have to have for a chamber to be vibrant and active. Our first awardee is Betsy Donofrio. We gotta do the center stage thing.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Betsy, thank you so much for all your work and for all your dedication to the chamber over the years.
Thank you very much.
And secondly, not that it matters what order it's in, we get Diane McGinnis, formerly with Elmhurst Hospital. I've gotten to know Diane really well over the years by going to a lot of meetings and stuff like that off-site from Elmhurst. She's been a lot of fun to be around, and she definitely deserves this award.
Oh,
Come on over. I need to say your award for it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed all of the work that I helped do with the chamber board, et cetera. It was great experience, great people. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Our next leader to speak this evening is another prominent figure in our Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce, having been associated with us for 37 years and recipient of the 2017 A.J. Tachi Taronis Good Works Award. He serves as the voice of, host, or MC of many Elmhurst Our Kind of Town events, including Elmhurst Now and Elmhurst Time Travelers. He is also Senior VP and Board Director for the Community Bank of Elmhurst and owner of Ken Bartels Consulting. We are blessed to have him as our chairman of the board for our 100th centennial celebration year. Please welcome one of my favorite Elmfest golf cart companions, Ken Bartels.
Well, thank you, Julie. My first role this evening is to present the immediate past chairman of the board's gavel, if I can get this to go where it's supposed to Joe Moschel. Now, Joe is a very humble guy. He runs a great company up in the North Business Park on Industrial Drive, and he's a leader in that area. And that area, many Elmhurst citizens don't really understand because they don't have to go up there for any real reason most of the time. But it's a vibrant, important part of our city. And Joe's a vibrant and important part of that. And Joe, your 2017 leadership has set the stage for this year, and you have my personal appreciation as well as the appreciation of everyone in the room, and I'd like another round of applause for Joe, please.
I really appreciate the year that I spent as chairman, all the years I've been on the board. It's been a lot of fun. The chamber is very meaningful to me, and I can't say enough about the person who's taking over for me. He's going to do a great job as the 100-year guy.
So, a chamber centennial chair, a chamber president, and a chamber board chair happened to find an ancient oil lamp. And they rubbed it, and they were surprised, as anyone would be, when a genie popped out in a puff of smoke. The genie said, "I can only grant 3 wishes, and since there are 3 of you, you each only get 1. "Me first," said the centennial chair. "I want to be able to travel the world and drink fine wines and do that all right now while wearing beautifully outrageous shoes all of the time." And poof, she was gone. Now me, said the humble chamber president. I want to play baseball forever. Never have to worry about chamber membership numbers again, and coach the Blackhawks right now because they need me. And poof, he was gone too. That left the chamber board chair. He quickly said to the genie, "I want those 2 back here immediately." And they are. My remarks begin with sincere thanks to my wife, Marge, and to my family for her and their support of me and the many things that they allow me to do and the community has allowed me to do. I also want to thank the Community Bank of Elmhurst for the time to do most of those things. And I want to thank Julie and John and the Centennial Board of Directors of the Chamber for all of the work that they do and will do as we begin this centennial year. In fact, I'd like all of the Centennial Board members who are present in the room, and there's quite a number of them, to please stand for a round of your recognition, please. So all the Chamber Centennial Board members, if you'd please stand. Come on, let's get everybody up. This year's 100th anniversary of the Elmhurst Chamber, I believe, is a testament to leadership. Leadership that makes everyone important. Leadership that promotes a clear vision, that provides for equal and fair treatment, that admits mistakes, that stays on mission and close to the action, and sets goals, articulates goals, and then achieves those goals. To those ends, as you've already heard, we already have a new logo to take us into our second 100 years. We have a Centennial Capital campaign well on its way to its $250,000 goal. We have a spirited membership campaign that allows 100 new Elmhurst businesses to join the chamber at significantly reduced rates. So all of you who are chamber members, who do you know? Who do you do business with? Who do you spend time with? Who's your next door neighbor who is not an Elmhurst Chamber member? This is the year for them to join. So I'm asking you to consider asking them. In business and in civic engagement, you usually start with interest. That leads to involvement, which then culminates in investment. Those elements create relationships, which are the basic building blocks for success. We all know that, but we oftentimes ignore it, forget it, or don't prioritize it. There is lots to love about Elmhurst right now. There will be a lot more to love about it in the future. As it pertains to the Elmhurst Chamber, along with each and every one of you, my role and the Centennial Board's role are to recognize the past and all it stood for and provided us, champion the present and all of the endeavors with which we are engaged, and visualize the future and all that it can mean for us, our families, our businesses, and our city. Recognize, champion, visualize. If it sounds like a slogan for the Chamber's next 100 years, it just might be. So thank you, each and every one of you, sincerely, for being here tonight on this historic evening. Thank you.
I hate having to speak after him. Our next award is the Chamber Ambassador of the Year Award. The Chamber Ambassadors, often known as the Green Coats, although we put them into sporty shirts these days so they don't have to wear the green coats during the summer. They're the public relations arm of the Chamber. They're out there welcoming new members at ribbon cuttings. They're celebrating new openings of new locations when a business moves. They're celebrating anniversaries at businesses, and at all of our networking events and educational events and special events, they're out there working the room, making sure that everybody's doing as much networking as we can. So it's an important job that the ambassadors do. They give plenty of their time to do it. And this year's Ambassador of the Year is Nancy Peterson. Nancy has been an ambassador for only 3 years. She represents the Elmhurst Yorkfield Food Pantry, which has been a member since 2013. But she is a person with great empathy for those in needs and an unbounding capacity for giving back to her capacity. Nancy is a regular attendee at all of our Chamber monthly networking events, as well as many of the ribbon cuttings. Chamber ambassadors are broken up into 3 teams, each going out on one Friday during the month. She's regularly there at all 3 of the Fridays. She's been a longtime food pantry board member. She served on their capital campaign committee. Capital campaign, I should have got her on our committee because they raised almost $1 million in 1 year. Give them a lot of credit for that. And she's been their treasurer. You need a good treasurer for your capital campaign. So Nancy got involved with the Chamber, jumped in, did everything you could ask an ambassador to do, and it took her this short a time to become our 2017 Ambassador of the Year. Would you welcome Nancy? Nancy. First, we gotta do for the cameras.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So,
just like a ribbon cutting.
Yep.
Tell me when to say so.
we're good. Get that out of your way.
I am humbled by this award, totally unexpected. I was born and raised as a daughter of a small business owner. Vern Sukup taught me many of the lessons in my life that have been most important. Among those, civic engagement, community connections, and volunteerism. While I didn't follow in his footsteps as a business person, my 35-year professional career as a school psychologist in public education, these lessons still held true. I became involved in leadership capacities at local, state, and national and professional organizations, which only enhanced my career. When I retired in 2011, I know I don't look old enough, I knew these lessons needed to be carried forth and became involved with the Elmhurst Yorkfield Food Pantry as a volunteer board member and treasurer. I told the board emphatically that we needed to join the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce. Back then, not many of you even knew there was a food pantry in Elmhurst. nor how many hungry people we were feeding who are our neighbors. Since then, we have successfully completed the capital campaign that John referred to. Actually took us 2 years, but the numbers were correct. To build a new facility to treat our neighbors in need with respect, efficiency, and dignity. I now come to chamber events with gratitude, encouragement, and applause from each of you for the mission that we are engaged in. I chose to become as an ambassador to give back to the chamber for all that it's done, all that you have done to promote the best for all of our neighbors. To me, this is my dad's legacy. He was a career-long, lifelong Rotarian. His mantra was, many of you have heard this, service above self. The one thing he didn't teach me was to say no. My husband asked me not to say this, but I need to thank him for his unending support. I know that he often sits back, scratches his head, and says, what is she going to get into this time? I want to give a huge shout out to the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry for recognizing nonprofits as important members of the infrastructure of our communities. This award is not about me, but rather the health and well-being of everyone in our community that the Chamber represents. Thank you so much.
It has been my incredible honor to be involved with the selection and induction of all nearly 26 members of the Elmhurst Civic Hall of Fame. It's something I take very seriously, and it's been very important since it was created in 1992. In asking people about Jack Island over the last few weeks, I've heard all of these comments and many more. Always quietly behind the scenes doing good things. Makes some great soup. Help to bring lacrosse to Elmhurst. The final destination at the end of the St. Patrick's Day Parade is Jack's Silverado Grill, and most of us know that. Many people are not aware of all he does for kids and for charitable groups of all kinds in our community. Jack Island is a man of purpose. Now, in a few moments, Jack will become the 26th member of the Elmhurst Civic Hall of Fame. But first, however, as it is our custom, I will read you the 25 previous names, which, as I said, began in 1992 with Joe Newton. Eleanor King Hookham, Ivan E. Frick, Joseph Wagner, Jean Hazelhorst, Robert M. Magnuson, Virginia Harmon, Lee Daniels, Tachi Taronas, William C. Gooch, Jr., Willis Johnson, who is in the room. Willis, would you please stand? I don't know exact. There he is over by the door. Willis. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Fred Messerschmidt, Jim Van Ewick, Jackie Haddad, Thomas O. Myers, Jr., Abner Gannett, Jan Pauli, Robert Schiller, and I believe Bob's in the room. Bob, where are you? Somewhere you are. There, way in the back. Thank you for joining us. Thomas Marcucci, Rich Grodsky, Pete Kruger, who is also in the room. Pete, where are you? Also way in the back. Doug Beach, Betsy Hainish. I know Betsy is in the back too. And of course, Ralph Paccianio, right over here. And last year, Daryl Whistler. So I would ask that Jack Island now please join me at the podium. So Jack, come on up, please. So, Jack, this plaque will be yours in just a matter of seconds. But this is what it says. It says the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Civic Hall of Fame, Jack Island, Silverado Grill. And a quote, a businessman to trust, a mentor to many, and a friend to treasure. Presented at the Chamber's annual awards, our historic 100th birthday bash, January 26, 2018. Jack Island, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I thank everyone present. I'm just amazed at how many people that I know and love and respect came out for this event, and I appreciate that. I want to wish a happy birthday to the Chamber of Commerce. 100 years, that's incredible, and thank them for seeing fit to bestow this award on me. I think as I look at it, I just, if people needed something and they came to me and I could do it, I did it. I would think that many of you, if not all of you, certainly most of you, are in the same boat. You're all good people. So anyway, I got involved. I like to tell a story about my involvement in the Chamber of Commerce. This is a Chamber of Commerce event. 32 years ago, I think it was 32 years ago, it was definitely this time of year because it was very cold. I had a partner at the time who I met in a restaurant chain. We worked together, and the chain was sold, and we were liberated, looking for a place to work. He found the site of the Silverado Grill in Elmhurst and called me and asked if I wanted to go in on this thing. And I said, well, where is Elmhurst exactly? And he said, well, you'll like it, or something along that. I said, well, I'll come out and help you build it up if you like, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So it was a restaurant before. Most of you know that. Many restaurants before. But they had closed down, I believe it was on New Year's Eve, and we had moved in there. It could have been today. It was late January, as I recall, in 1986. We met there, and the restaurant has a basement that provides storage, a couple of walk-in coolers, and an office. Nowadays, at that time, it was a sleeping quarters for us. And my partner, Dave Walrad, was extremely handy, had a lot of tools. We brought them in, put them in the upstairs area, started to demolish the restaurant and rebuild it. And so that's what we did for many months. And one day, guy walks in a coat and tie, wading through knee-deep sawdust and who knows what. He probably should have had a hard hat on, but he didn't. It was Jim Hallberg. And he was, as he did, I'm sure, a lot at that time, he was soliciting for the Chamber of Commerce. And he saw a couple guys that might be willing to listen to him. And actually, he approached Dave, and not me initially, and asked me, he said, I think it'd be a good idea for you guys to get involved in the community. And when Dave approached me, I said, Dave, he's looking for money, We are not in business yet, and I think we need to table this until we open the doors, maybe, and then talk to Jim. And actually, Jim came back and talked to both of us. And he said, I know you're not in a position where it's easy for you. But he said, if you do this, I will personally make sure that this becomes a wise investment. And I think last weekend you were in the restaurant. So he's still fulfilling that. I think he likes the food, I hope. But he, and anyone who knows Jim knows everybody. So he's a great guy to have on your side. And that's how we got started. And it wasn't long after we opened the restaurant. It wasn't real easy at first, but Jim had us involved as directors in the chamber, and Dave was an ambassador. We shared directorship at different times, but it worked out, just the way he promised that it would. So that's something, and I think about it a lot this time of year, especially with thinking about this award and our lineage there. So we've been there for 32 years. Now, I've got a couple people that have been there. Believe it or not, we have 3 employees that joined us in the first year. So they are, I think we're in our 32nd year to be completed in June. I think that's how it works. So they are in their 32nd year also. And 2 of them have joined me here, Mary Pittman and Kathy Bless. Stand up, please. Stand up. And we have another, Karen Stevenson, who is running the business tonight. So that was nice of her to do that. But that's how it works. And somewhere I got things that make it possible. The people that work, and I cross that out, and I put run. They run the restaurant. I'm kind of backing away from some of the operations, and I can trust these people to take care of things. So I wanted to recognize them as you have recognized me. Other than that, I just I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm humbled. I'm sure that there are others that deserve this award more than I do, but I will cherish it. And I have one more thing to say. Because I have an audience and because I have a belief, and I hope this doesn't offend anyone, about 2 years ago, I started to pray. And I'm not any taller than I was then, so that one's not working. But I can tell you that it's a practice that I strongly recommend. And I thank you all for being here and listening to me.
I pray he stays in business for another 32 years. Our final award of this evening is the A.J. Tachi-Turonis Business of the Year Award. In your program is a list of the previous awardees, but I'll go ahead and name them. Starting in 1999, Community Bank of Elmhurst, Unique Travel Service, Cardinal Cartridge, Great American Exteriors, Silverado Grill, Synergistic Networks, York Theater, Larry Roche Chrysler Jeep Dodge, Suburban Bank and Trust, Diplomat West Banquet Halls, Harris Bank, OEC Business Interiors, Elmhurst Memorial Healthcare, York Furrier, our only 2-time recipient, again, Community Bank of Elmhurst, West Suburban Office Products, Cafe Amano, and lastly, a neighbor of Jack's, Roberto's Ristorante and Pizzeria, also one of my favorite places. That's quite an eclectic list. There isn't a whole lot that list has in common other than the fact that they've invested their time and money in this community, and they've made good things happen, not only business-wise, but community-wise. They've employed people. They've contributed to the financial well-being of our community. They've been good neighbors, and they've been good friends. And this year's awardee is no different. Our 2017 A.J. Tachi Taronis Business of the Year is Brew Point Coffee. This family-owned business has run in downtown Elmhurst since 2014. Opened the Lexicon Cafe inside the Elmhurst Public Library last September, and opened Brew Point Workshop and Roastery in North Elmhurst in December. Brew Point Coffee has instituted a strategy for success at the location kitty corner to the Metro train station in downtown Elmhurst, where others before them failed. And they developed tools to allow them to expand in a well-organized way so that they now have 3 locations in this short time. Brew Point Coffee is owned and operated by the wife and husband team of Melissa Villanueva and Angelo Sepulveda. And it all started when she had a great corporate job and decided to walk away from it all, and then convinced him to join her. What a leap of faith. But it's literally the American dream. I don't want to work for corporate America. I want to have my own business, and I want it to matter in my community. And that's exactly what they've done. So at this time, I would like to call representatives of Roberto's Ristorante up here to grab our trophy, and representatives of Brew Point Coffee to the stage to accept it from Roberto's. So, Vito. Melissa, Angelo. And ignore my Italian heritage that we have a Vito and an Angelo on stage at the same time. Would you grab the trophy and make the formal presentation? Now, before you leave the stage, we need to give you your trophy that will replace that. It's not as good, but it's going to have to do. It's a traveling trophy, but this one you can display permanently at Roberto's. Congratulations again, and thank you for your commitment to our community. Give them a nice round of applause. By the way, I have 20 coupons to get a free pizza, so I'll probably be in tomorrow night to redeem that. And now, would you congratulate our Business of the Year for 2017, Brew Point Coffee.
You want me to start out?
I can start off.
You can start
Would you
out?
like to hold this?
Sure.
This is absolutely mind-blowing. Thank you. So many of you know our story, and even if you didn't, John just told it. So we were looking on Craigslist for an espresso machine, ended up buying a coffee shop instead. We had no business plan. We had little to no money, only dreams and ambitions. And if you let that sink in for a second, what type of people buy a coffee shop on Craigslist and they're not even looking to own a coffee shop? And I wasn't that type of person until I met this guy. So just to give a little bit of history, our business is about 3.5 years old. We have known each other for just over 4 years. So he was my 7-month boyfriend when he started Brew Point. This man has believed in me. He has dared me to dream. He has pushed me to explore. And my life and our life came together when we met each other. Just to give you a little bit of a picture of what I'm talking about, the very first conversation we ever had, I was telling him how I felt unfulfilled in corporate America,
And he was just, and I was telling him, I'm looking for God to give me a sign. Like, I want to do something more. I feel like I'm meant for something more. And he's just like, I think God's waiting for you to pull the trigger. And that was my sign. The next day I resigned and I told this guy I had just met that I quit my job. And then we start dating and he's telling me, I want you to dream. And I'm thinking, oh no, you don't want me to dream, because if I dream, I want things. And when I want things, I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do with myself until I get it. And he's like, no, I want you to dream. And so I dreamt, and I got caught by this vision to create an authentic community space through coffee. And so I told him, that's what we're going to do. That's what I want to do. And he was on board. And then he was just like, I want you to explore. I want you to, talk to people in the industry, ask questions, go and visit shops that are for sale. And I said, oh, no. I'm not ready for that yet. And that's when we were looking on Craigslist for an espresso machine. And we found that little coffee shop on Park Avenue in Elmhurst. And he's like, it doesn't hurt to look at it. And I said, yes, it might hurt. Angela is my partner in life, in business, and in everything. And all of this has taught us that the people we surround ourselves with, they have the capacity to make us so much better and to make such an impact, not just to us, but the missions that we have in this world. And so for us, our mission is to create and empower authentic community spaces. We want to be a place for the community. We want to invest in the community. And there's so many people that we want to thank. We want to first thank our parents. I have my parents here. Angela's parents are in New Jersey. But if you can imagine, we really didn't have any money. And you have an 8-month relationship, getting a call from your kids and saying, hey, mom and dad, I think we're gonna buy a coffee shop on Craigslist. You want to help us out? And they believed in us. That's nuts. And it's been day in and day out of them just supporting in us, believing in us, and we know that we have the privilege to dream because we have such a strong family support. We could not do this without our team. Angela and I started off, just the two of us, with one of my friends. We have 26 employees now, which in 3.5 years is very quick. Ben and Sarah are here. They are our pillars. They keep me sane. They keep Angelo sane. They had dreams and ambitions, post-college, to get high-paying careers in all these different fields because they're so talented. And they've stuck with us. They have had long nights with us where we're building structures of how to have protocols for a coffee shop, how to have general managers and shift managers. They've had many long nights with us. And you know that you're building the company with us. You are amazing. So thank you. We want to thank the city of Elmhurst, because when we were thinking of possibly expanding outside of Elmhurst, I ended up having a meeting with Erin, and she's like, I think we want you a little bit more than what you've done. And I was just like, I want to be here a little bit more. Community is so much of what we want to do, and there's so much left on that. There's so much more to do than what we've done with our first shop. And so we were convinced we want to situate ourselves in Elmhurst. We want to thank the chamber. This is an amazing experience. This is an amazing honor to be presented with this award. And lastly, we want to thank the community. When you find a coffee shop on Craigslist, you aren't necessarily looking for a specific city. So in a lot of ways, it feels like Elmhurst has chosen us and been than anything else. And we're just so grateful. We're so grateful that Elmhurst was the place that the coffee shop was in. Yeah, please.
I'd be remiss not to also thank my wife. Well, she said, she didn't know what I was going to do. So I don't have prepared remarks. Excuse me if I put my foot in my mouth. I'm very good at that, but I'll do my best to avoid it. But I don't generally have the same stage that my wife does to speak publicly. She really is the face of the business, the visionary. I'm getting emotional. and someone who we share this adventure together, and we very much do this together, and she does everything that I could never, ever do. And admittedly, with being the visionary and the face of the business, she does receive lots of accolades and encouragement, but she also carries the burden of the difficult times, of sometimes when somebody's looking for someone to blame. And that is just part of having a business, as you are all very, very familiar with. And I thank you for being my partner, for us knowing how to work together, even though we had been dating for only 7 months. That was a wonderful discovery to be like, okay, I think we can do this. And I also just kind of want to expand on Melissa's story a bit and on our gratitude. After visiting the coffee shop, we actually walked to Wildwood Park and sat on the bench next to the water fountain between the library and the art museum. And we were a bit shell-shocked. I very much went in thinking, this will be a great informational interview for when we want to open a business in 3 years. She was very much going in saying, this could get us into a lot of trouble. She was right, as she always is. But we both sat there shell-shocked because we very much in that moment felt like this could fit. Neither of us are from Elmhurst. Melissa grew up in the western suburbs. I grew up on the border with Wisconsin up in Gurnee. So neither of us were very familiar with this city, and we didn't really know what we were getting into. And as you guys know, there are no perfect communities, there are no perfect cities, but it has been very humbling to be embraced by you all and to be entrusted to build a community space here, because that really is what we are trying to do. When we were considering what our next step was and where we might want to expand and what we wanted to do, part of that consideration was what kind of community we want to be a part of. And very quickly that turned on us, and we realized, you know what, we can be community builders here. We can define the kind of space, the kind of community, the kind of embrace that we want to have. And you all have very much entrusted us to do that and empowered us to do that. And the fact that we've had hundreds upon hundreds of you come through and support us has been very humbling, and we will continue to do our best to steward that responsibility well and thoughtfully. And again, thank you so much. This is very humbling. Thank you, wifey, I call her wifey, for this amazing partnership that we have together. And thank you guys so much.
What a wonderful awards ceremony, and congratulations again to all of the recipients. Now, I know the next item on your program says adjournment, but to quote the late, great Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. And tonight, our more is a champagne toast to kick off our 100-year birthday bash. So, as you can see, we do have we have people that have passed out champagne bottles and some glasses, so feel free. Each glass gets 3.75 ounces, just to make sure everyone is aware. Okay, so while you are all pouring, we do have a few last things to say, which are some thank yous. But also, speaking of kickoff, this night is also, as you've already heard, the kickoff to our year-long Split the Pot raffle. So tickets are $5 each and will be sold throughout the year. All proceeds will benefit the Chamber's Second Century Fund, which has been established to ensure the Chamber's success for its next 100 years. Our treasurer, honest Ralph Pachanio, purchased the very first ticket of our raffle, so be sure to follow in his footsteps and bring an Honest Abe $5 with you to every event. Although we would like to see Mr. Andrew Jackson come out of your pocket. And yes, this $20 will purchase the next 4 tickets. So write that down, Tessa. And if you want some extra good luck, be sure to buy tickets this evening from someone in our audience, Mrs. Illinois International, Kaylee Kaminsky. She's sitting right over here. Thank you. There you are. Thank you for joining us. She is also the president of the Schaumburg Business Association. So congratulations on your accolades. So glad I didn't wear my crown tonight. That would have been so embarrassing. So one lucky winner's name will be drawn next year at this event for our 100th Awards Gala. So be sure to join us at that event. But remember that you do not need to be present to win, thanks to computers. All right, also on your tables, you will see a red box. That box includes a 12-piece centerpiece of chocolate-dipped fruit. So make sure you enjoy those tonight. Those are our gifts to you in lieu of cake. And lastly, as everyone knows, these wonderful events require a lot of planning, and they are never organized by just one person. As chair of the Centennial Celebration Committee, I would like to thank my other committee members comprised of John, Ken, Kevin Kost, Lori Murray, Betsy Hanisch, and Tim Gurry. So thank you for all that you guys do. I would also like to thank the Chamber subcommittees and our board of directors, and especially thank our hardworking staff, Tessa and Jeremy. Thank you again. I'd also like to thank the crew from Elmhurst, our kind of town. Thank you guys for all that you do. And of course, our event. So Jim Nagel and all of the staff here at the Drake Oakbrook Hotel, thank you. And now, to present our champagne toast, please welcome the devilishly handsome and owner of IRS Trouble Solvers, Patrick Sheehan, to give our toast. Oh, you're gonna, I think he's going to cork the, to pop the big bottle.
Everybody got some champagne? Yes? All right. Opa!
And I did write a toast for you if you want.
Don't forget Kevin's glass.
Yes, Kevin's been. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. On behalf of IRS Trouble Solvers, happy birthday to the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and congratulations on your first 100 years. Cheers.
Cheers.
I love you, Pink.
I love you. That's next. All right, this concludes our program. Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight. Please stay and enjoy the food and camaraderie, but also enjoy the birthday party for us and the food. Good night.
Hi, I'm John Quigley, President and CEO of the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry. In these challenging economic times, it's imperative that our residents and businesses band together to not only shop Elmhurst, but buy Elmhurst whenever possible. We have great stores in our city center, Spring Road, Butterfield Road, York and Villette Streets, St. Charles and Route 83, North Avenue and Lake Street, along North York and even Grand Avenue. I ask for your help. Let's keep our tax dollars in Elmhurst.
Have you checked out Elmhurst Public Library lately? Prepare to be amazed. The new Makery, located in the library's renovated basement, provides a hands-on creative space for patrons to invent, collaborate, and design as they transform their ideas into reality. From laser cutters to embroidery machines, the Makery has something sure to pique everyone's interest. This open, flexible work area creates an environment to create, connect, and explore. EPL card holders, District 205 teachers and students, Elmhurst College students, work perks, and business cardholders are welcome to use the space. For more information, go to elmlib.org/makery. Let's make things happen.